Hello everybody, Pinstripe here. What is going on? Welcome back to some more Hosts of War. Today got the Commando versus Hero for you guys here on Mission 23. As everybody knows, this is Hero Warship, where you fight against 4 of the Hero enemy pigs and stuff goes down. As I've done it before, this is a just cross-comparison video in terms of how things would play out if you had a whole lot of one type of character on one team and a whole lot of another one on the other team. So I'm not really paying attention to medals or anything like that, because I know that that's something that other people have brought up before about, the actual objective of the mission to pick up medals. Mine, when I make these kind of videos, it's purely to do with just gameplay and how both teams end up fighting each other, I guess. We have of course talked about the Commando in detail before, and how its weapon set is basically a mixture of all the different characters put together. You've got the primary stuff of the airburst, the sniper rifle, machine gun, the jetpack for mobility, and of course the cluster bombs. And then you've got the secondary stuff of the poison gas, the TNT, and the hide. Compare that to the hero, who has 20 more health and only has the additional weapons of the airstrike, which as we know is very powerful, and the special ops, which you guys know my opinion on that one. A very helpful and indeed not gifted weapon on this map is the guide missiles, which is fairly rare to see in the single player campaign. You only really get your hands on it in a few missions, but 75 damage maximum can basically deplete half the health of a single hero or deal multiple bits of splash damage to other pigs that may be nearby. So getting the fullest amount of damage on that hero there, and things are going quite nicely because the heroes, as you can see, obviously I'm playing this on the emulator, and I just wanted to show it instead of the PC version because that's great, it's clean, it looks nice, but with the PlayStation version, I figured at least the AI can move and it makes things a little bit more challenging. I also tried to complete this in the fastest time possible, not going for any kind of speed run, but mainly for like video purposes. I don't want to have to sit here for more than 10 minutes, I guess, for matches that shouldn't take too long. So I moved my Commando into the position where the pillboxes are. I think I accidentally damaged one of my pigs there with the jetpack as it landed on the ground, which was unfortunate, but it's fine because he has enough health anyway. Like I said, there's only 20 health difference, so I don't have to worry too much about having to try and just deplete their health as quickly as possible. That is of course the task anyway, but it's different between when you're facing a hero and when you're facing a legend, for instance. So I've jumped into the pillbox, and that's kind of being used as a distraction so that they don't target any of my other pigs, and that all of their damage is focused onto that pillbox, which even if it gets destroyed, the pig inside only takes 20 damage, so not going to be too worried about that one. This mission does of course come quite late in the single player campaign. It is 2 missions away from the final one, where you have the legends, all the schwill and the crazy mayhem that goes along with it. So at this point, the player is expected to have jetpack capabilities, meaning that they should have most, if not all, of their team promoted to Commando and above. So you'll notice that my main aim is to take the jetpack and basically get myself out of that corner. Because all of your pigs are grouped up in one little corner of the map, you need to disperse as much as you can and basically close the distance between you and the enemy. There's no point in trying to make a shot that you're not 100% on. I do it all the time where I think, I can just use the bazooka at this point, use my amazing aim, and then I mess it up. And it's just easier to close the distance and make things easier for yourself and not make it more difficult than it really has to be, because at the end of the day, if you're facing up against heroes, you need everything to be on point every single time. Nevertheless though, with the enemy briefly distracted by the pillbox, I kind of go with the overall system of starting my attack with the cluster bomb, which guarantees at least 90 damage. If you get all of the bombs to hit the target you're aiming for. Then I switch over to the airburst, which guarantees at least 60 damage if you can get all the shells to hit again the selected target. And then after that I kind of clean up with the sniper rifle or the bazooka, depending on where the pig is standing and if they have any other enemy teammates around them, because splash damage is of course always welcome. At this point in the match, things start to get a little bit weird, given that most of the heroes start to hide in the given shelter that is closest to them, which was a little bit strange given that they don't have low health and they just randomly decide to go away and hide. I honestly don't know, but it's quite distressing given that they do have airstrike capabilities, and that kind of provides them with an additional shield. So my main concern is how long they're going to stay in there and whether or not they're going to think about using the airstrike at any given time, because on a Commando, most of the time, depending on the terrain, it's going to deal at least 120 damage to the target, so that takes out pretty much 95% of my health, and I'm left with having to kind of self-heal with the medical darts by pointing it dead straight in the air and giving myself 40 health, which is not what I want to do because I just want to keep attacking the enemy and trying to do something. But yeah, they just keep jumping in the shelter. I don't know why, but you did see that I did take out one of their heroes, so it is 3 against 5 at this point, which from the beginning I did have the extra player anyway, and every time I went to hit this hero with a cluster bomb, it pushed him further away, so I couldn't use the other bombs to get the maximum amount of damage. But any damage is good damage at this point because either way he's going to run away and hide, and then it's all down to me to take out the shelter. In my Ace vs Hero video, I made the fatal mistake of getting a little bit too close to the enemy, given that they decided to use the airstrike when I was stood right next to them. That was of course the PC version, and things are different given that in this version of the PlayStation the AI can move and make more decisions, but I have to say that they do think about things maybe a little bit too much. I mean, he's just constantly thinking, and then he finally decides to actually shoot me in the face. So yeah, AI craziness, and just trying to kind of balance the distance between where I need to be in terms of closing the gap, but also bearing in mind that I shouldn't get too close because I don't trust any of the AI in this game. All the wonderful damage being dished out there with the airburst. Like I said, it deals plenty of damage on its own, but combine that with the destruction of the shelter and it's going to do even more, especially when there's more pigs in there, because the more pigs in a given area, the more damage is going to be dealt out. So he's going to be using his bazooka, not going to be too much of a problem because, like I said, I have plenty of health and don't have to worry about it. But here I decide, well, let's be a little bit smart about things and try and do stuff to benefit the team, given that I can use the poison gas and hopefully gain myself an extra turn using the poison trick, which, as you guys know, is basically just whittling down the enemy team's health so that it is below 10, and he will then die, like he did just then. Crazy, I know. But I did try and aim to poison all 3 of them so that I could kill the one on the far side and then damage the other 2, and then the match would be over. But overall, that is going to pretty much wrap everything up because the enemy team is literally defeated. They is going to die. Hope you guys enjoyed the video and this little run through of Commando versus Hero. Commando comes out tops because obviously I am controlling the commandos and I am wonderful and amazing at this game, and he is going to be completely obliterated by the guide missile. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts on these 2 characters in the comments below. Do you love them? Do you hate them? Let me know everything, and I will catch you guys later for the next one.
Destination.